Clever defending from Ryan Manning, just got his body in the way, tries to clear it. Will drop to the edge of the penalty area. Czechia, the effort from range is not a bad shot as well. Too close to Kelleher from Sulch. Caught it nicely, not too dissimilar to Nathan Collins' effort earlier. We'll have a little look at that shout from Collins. 50-50 there on the edge of the box. Collins tried to get a toe to the ball. I think it was Vladimir Sofal. Well, they're checking it for a penalty, actually. Glenn Nyberg has called over both Nathan Collins and Ladislav Krejci. He's listening to the advice of Bram van Driessen. We'll have another look at the replay for you. Ball bounces, Collins tries to use the outside of his boot. It's actually Darida there. And he's kicked the underside of Nathan Collins' boot. He made the most of it, the Brentford centre-back. And the referee is going to be called across to the pitch side monitor to have a look himself. Now, for my money, before the referee makes a decision, I've got to tell you, I think this will be a very soft penalty if it is given. Collins gets to the ball first. Darida, a vastly experienced man, has kicked his boot. In Formula 1, you'd call it a racing incident, in my opinion, but Glenn Nyberg has seen a couple of replays. He's having a good old think about this. It looks like he's made his mind up, and he's pointing to the penalty spot. Oh, he's not happy with it. Vladimir Darida, not happy at all. And I can totally sympathise with him. But it's a glorious opportunity for Ireland to take control of this game. Nathan Collins put himself in the right position. It's a very soft penalty kick. And those travelling Irish supporters are at the end of the ground where the penalty will be taken. There are high fives to Matej Kovar. Who's going to take it? Could well be Seamus Coleman. He's called this his last ride for Ireland. At 37 years old. A bit of a specialist from this kind of position. The Everton fullback. There's the ball tucked under his arm. That doesn't mean much these days. Often you see players hold the ball and then pass it over to somebody else. Man of the hour for Ireland is Troy Parrott. It's going to be handed over. And it will be Parrott spotting it up. "14 goals for Azad Alkmaar this season, 5 goals in 6 qualifiers. Hat-tricks on the route to this point. Parrott, hands on the hips, a big puff of the cheeks. Two players that have faced each other in domestic football. It's Alkmaar versus PSV Eindhoven. Glenn Nyberg, just to ramp up the tension a little bit more. Kovar being told he can't be jumping on his line and slapping the crossbar. Parrott remains unmoved. Troy Parrott puts Ireland in front. Kovar went the right way, diving away to his right. Troy Parrott runs away to the corner flag in celebration. First blood goes to the Irish. Vladimir Darida is seething. He has my sympathies too. If I was the man with the whistle, it's not a penalty I'd be giving. That's not Troy Parrott's fault. That's not Nathan Collins' fault. And they've taken the chance handed to them, and my word, hasn't he taken that. Almost a perfect penalty. Kovar might be a little bit disappointed. He's got his hand to it. It's not a strong enough touch to force it wide of the target. Jaime Halkensson barely moves. as John O'Shea alongside him in the Irish dugout pats him on the leg. He's been there, he's seen this too many times, Jaime Haukedimson, to know that the night is still young. 19.5 minutes played. It's Czechia 0, Ireland 1. And now the Czechs are chasing the game. But they have it in them to peg Ireland back here this evening. Free kick, or is it? Or a throw-in, rather, on the far side. Bit of energy now to Ireland. Ogbene on that left flank. And it was behind the onrushing midfielders. Finazaz, the intended recipient. And the first yellow card of the evening. He's brandished in Jack Taylor's direction, the Ipswich Town midfielder. Just pulled back at Parrott. And that's another... No, it's not. It's going to be a yellow card. A throw-in, rather. Sulch thinks that should be a free kick for Czechia on the corner of the 18-yard box. It won't be. This one's just got a bit of feistiness about it. He ran it out of play before being on the receiving end of a challenge from Jason Mulumby. O'Brien with the throw in down the touchline, looking for Ogbene. One by Krejci. Interesting quirk is Krejci wearing the number 7 despite playing in the centre-back position. You're the captain, you can pretty much wear whatever number you want. Jake O'Brien. The throw in towards Ogbene. Krejci wins the header. On the right hand side, and Chidozie Ogbene's going to get there before Krejci. First time ball. Oh, it's just behind the two arriving in the penalty area. Parrott was there, as was Finazaz. It just bisected the pair of them. O'Brien forward again. Ogbene takes it on the half turn. Prods it through. Here's Azaz. Knocks off the retreating Jurasek for a corner kick. Well, they're missing a few tonight, Ireland. Evan Ferguson, and on loan at Roma. He's probably their biggest absentee. Liam Scales not available. Has travelled with the side this evening, though. Josh Cullen. Now that was the hole that's been filled by Jack Taylor in the midfield. No Gavin Bazunu, who's often been the deputy to Caoimhín Kelleher. Bobby Brady back in the side for the first time since June of last year. Here's Ryan Manning standing over the set piece. Left-footed ball from the right-hand side, high towards the back post. It's a decent routine. Nodded towards the 6-yard line. Has that crossed the line? The referee points to his watch. It has. Is it Troy Parrott with the finishing touch? I believe so. A bit of chaos from the corner. No one's quite sure who poked it over the line. But Glenn Nyberg is certain that it crossed the line. Got the signal from his watch. Ryan Manning's ball, brilliant towards the back post. Nodded into the 6-yard area by Jake O'Brien. We'll have a little look. It's Darragh O'Shea at the back post, in fact. Bounces across the 6-yard line. It's Sofal, heads it onto the crossbar. It's off the shoulder of Matej Kovar, the goalkeeper. That's what takes it over the line, despite the best intentions of Patrick Schick, trying to clear it away. Troy Parrott is there. A horrible start for Czechia. I think it's going to go down as a Kovar own goal. It's been credited to Darragh O'Shea, but I'm sure that'll change very shortly. It's Czechia 0, Ireland 2. And you have a tough time arguing against the scoreline on the balance of play so far. The hosts can rightly feel a little bit aggrieved from the opener. but they have no one to blame but themselves for the second. Almost farcical defending in the end, didn't deal with the high ball towards the back post, and then couldn't clear it off the line. Long way back here from Czechia, but plenty of time in which to try and create the comeback. That's a pullback surely in the penalty area. It is, and Glenn Nyberg points to the spot. A big handful of Krejci's shirt by Ryan Manning. The ball's bouncing out of play on the way through. Now, Czechia need to be careful here. That's not good to see. Don't want them asking for cards. Ryan Manning had a handful of Krejci's shirt. He's definitely made the most of it, the Wolves man. But it's silly from Manning. And it's a penalty that certainly will stand. Nathan Collins pleading his colleague's case. But a route back into the game almost immediately for Czechia. Patrick Schick has the ball tucked under his arms. 9 Bundesliga goals this season. He scored 2 from the penalty spot. It's Schick versus Kelleher. 26 minutes on the clock to reduce the deficit back to just 1. Leverkusen Schick versus Brentford's Kelleher. Schick, oh, it's a lovely penalty. Quiveen Kelleher rooted to the spot. Patrick Schick gets Czechia on the board. Ireland almost shooting themselves in the foot there. What a game we have on our hands at the Fortuna Arena. Cool as you like from Schick, side foots it into the top corner to the left of Kelleher, who's left wrong-footed by the approach to the ball. He's been in brilliant form this season for Leverkusen. And there's that confidence writ large. An outpouring of relief from around this stadium. And a nervous energy from the Irish. But what is Ryan Manning doing? The ball is bouncing away from Krejci. He's heading away from goal. It's almost certainly going to cross the line for a goal kick. Manning's got a handful of the back of Krejci's shirt. And the Czechia captain has won the penalty that's given his side renewed life in this game. Here he is, Krejci. Looking for the aerial ball towards Chori. That's away by Coleman. Bouncing through the midfield, and a shove from Jake O'Brien on the giant Chori, who goes down as if he's certainly not a giant. Free kick for the Czechs. Stupid from Jake O'Brien. 2 hands in the shoulders, and it was always going to be a free kick, no, regardless of how tall, how big, how bulky the man he was challenging was. 2 penalties and an own goal as we're approaching the half-an-hour mark in Prague. Set piece is going to come in from the left-hand side. Going to be Jurasek with a delivery. Glenn Nyberg poised on the edge of the Irish penalty area. Nathan Collins goes to ground. The free kick goes Ireland's way. Jason Malumbi with an arm around Patrick Schick's shoulder. He's not in the mood for that kind of friendly interaction. The Leverkusen forward. He went down off the ball after Nathan Collins had tumbled. Busy night already for Glenn Nyberg. That's gone from Kelleher. Up towards Azaz. O'Brien, physical with Shorty. This time he won't get the decision he wants. Seamus Coleman gets the throw in. It's going to be tossed to Jake O'Brien to take instead. The former Crystal Palace man. Time with Leon now, back in the Premier League with Everton. Down the touchline for Ogbene. Parrott trying to feed off Scraps. Ogbene near the corner flag. A little back heel, bypasses Krejci. Azaz, Troy Parrott rather, beaten to it. Jake O'Brien with a good challenge. Malumbi lunging in there, wins it back temporarily. They're all sliding in. Now, surely a tuck back on the right-hand side it was on Seamus Coleman. And now it's David Jurasek's turn to go to ground, and well, it seemed like he's been shot. He pulled back on Coleman. Knew he'd fouled him. And Seamus Coleman making that point to him that when you pull back on me, of course my momentum's going to tumble back into you and there's going to be contact. All got a bit scrappy on the corner of the Czech penalty area. Really good challenge though by Jack Taylor in there. They can't have it both ways. So a set piece for Ireland again, this time from the right-hand side, and well, they've been good from Ryan Manning, these kind of deliveries so far. Azaz is also standing over it, the Southampton man. Discussing their options, these two. It will be Manning. Left-footed ball swung in. Dara O'Shea was there. He thinks that should be a corner. It was a little bit under hit. Tried to make the most of it, the Ipswich Town man. He felt there was a flick off a Czech head on the way out of play. Kovar takes the resulting goal kick quickly. He's run into traffic there. And here's Parrott just outside the penalty area. It's Schultz getting back. Oh, Ireland all over the Czech midfield. When they move the ball quicker up towards Chori and Schick, they seem to cause Ireland a few more problems. But they try and play through midfield. That combination of Taylor, Malumbi, Ogbene and Azaz all over with the Czechs at the moment as Coleman tries to lift one down the right-hand side. No one there in way. It's away by Krejci. Up towards the halfway line there is Jason Malumbi. See Taylor with the header. Darida at Krejci now. Hranats. Krejci. Laid off by Provod. To the Czech skipper Krejci. Provod on the left-hand side. Bene matching him stride for stride. Almost left that too far behind you in a second. In fact, he did. It was over the line. Well, Miroslav Korbek throws his arms up in a display of frustration. The side have been loose, been a little bit clumsy. On by Ogbene. It's Parrott. Zaz blocked off. Tucked back by Krejci to Kovar. Here's Hranats of Hoffenheim. Jurasek. Darida with a point to prove now. Holesh. It's given away. Parrott. Taylor. Malumbi. To Collins. Kelleher needs to be careful. Schick arriving at a rate of knots. Ogbene, when he knew that the contact was coming from Krejci, held his ground. And when Krejci barreled into the back of him, that'll be a free kick. And Glenn Nyberg making it very clear to the Czech captain that he will be allowed no more fouls. Two yellow cards so far, both to Irish players, Manning and Taylor. So far, the Czechs have escaped a booking. Won't be long. As Krejci just Bumps into Ogbene, guides him under the fly to the ball. Jurasek near the corner flag. Clears it down the left-hand side. Jake O'Brien. But it was tight to Chori, who once again goes down holding his face like he's been punched, and Ben Nyberg not impressed. A full 198 centimetres, Tomasz Chori, the Slavia Prague striker. 16 goals for his club in the league this season. It's a really impressive record, but that's just silly. No need for that. He was occupying Jake O'Brien enough as it was. Got himself facing in the wrong direction. It's not a foul. If he stays on his feet, Chori, he could be a real handful. So far tonight, I have to say, it's been a little bit farcical from the big man. 10 minutes remaining in this first half. What a first half it's been. Manning. Tried to find Parrott. O'Brien loses sight of it. Bounces across to Coleman on the right-hand side. Late contact there. From Parrott. Not fair to Glenn Nyberg. He's been even-handed in his refereeing. Czechia allowed to continue. Right decision for my money as well. Here's Hranats. Olesh. Back to Hoffenheim's Hranats. Krejci. Spots the run. It's a really good ball from Krejci. Here's Patrick Schick. Forced wide. Darragh O'Shea sticking with him. Lays it off. Picked up by Darida. Across from Jurasek is closed down by Seamus Coleman. Quickly back into play by Jurasek. On this left-hand side is Krejci. Halfway Hranats. Across to Holesh. Hranats. Krejci. Lobbed into the penalty area. Chori was trying to get there and almost gone each other's way. Chori and Sulch. Sulch now with Leon. The switch from Pilsen. A productive season for Leon this year. 14 goals in 33 appearances thus far. They have goals in the side, Czechia. But the tail of set pieces. The penalty, initial penalty coming from a corner. The own goal came from a corner. The Patrick Schick penalties come from a corner. Ironically, neither side have really got to grips with the other, but in many ways they have. Taken it far too literally. Chori's been penalised in midfield. We seem to be carved out of granite, Jaime Hallgrímsson. You never really know what he's thinking. His side made a brilliant start, but you wouldn't know it from looking at him. Coleman's ball lifted down the left-hand side of the box. Cushion backwards. Taylor was winding one up. Darida goes hopping around, back on his feet. Little flick of the heel on the edge of the box. Might drop to Ogbene here. Gets his head to it. Krejci steps in to tidy things up for Czechia and rattles it away down the left-hand side. Sulch is set off after it, but Coleman is there first. Nice first touch by Azaz, just inside the Czech half. Back into the centre circle now for Collins. Here's Taylor. Heading off towards that left-hand side. Now Manning. Collins. O'Brien. That's off Sulch for another Irish throw-in. Quickly in by Jake O'Brien. Well, from that Seamus Coleman set piece, we've seen it again. Thomas Chori going down once more, like Darragh O'Shea had kicked him in the back of the head when Might have been climbing a little. Understands his threat, but so far he's been incredibly infuriating to watch. Planach to Hollesh. Towards Planach, who will let it run all the way through to Kovac. And now Krejci. Bene lurking near towards the left-hand side. Jurasek. With a blind ball round the corner. Straight onto the chest of Collins. Takes it down on halfway. Tries to tuck it down the right line for Chiedozie Ogbene, who looks like he might have the beating of Krejci. Just recovered in time. The Czech captain sliding in. Well, he's full of pace, Chiedozie Ogbene. We're into the final 5 minutes of this first half. It's absolutely raced past. In front of that wall of green, out towards our right-hand side. Corners have been a productive route for Ireland thus far. This will be their fourth of the evening, and Ryan Manning trotting across to take it from this near side again. Oh, sweat beading on the brow of Patrick Schick, who's back in his own penalty area. There's the signal from Ryan Manning. Chiedozie Ogbene trying to get across a message. Manning's ball again high towards the back post. There was Darragh O'Shea coming round the back. This time he won't meet it. Has to do a bit of recovery work, but there's Jason Malumbi near halfway to recover the ball for Ireland. Towards Manning. Headed down to O'Shea. Azaz could turn. He didn't really catch it. You could see what he was trying to do. Turned onto his left foot. Kovac could just pluck it out of the air. Just ghosted into space and then used Schultz to spin away. Might have been better served looking for one of Ogbene or Parrott at the back post. Here's Krejci to Planach. Krejci. Veterano Darida. Planach getting forward. Hollesh, fed by Parrott. That's a good ball into the penalty area. Schultz with the pullback. Patrick Schick trying to get there to the edge of the penalty area. Chiedozie Ogbene. Oh, the free kick's been given Ireland's way. It was Patrick Schick just a little bit too physical in the penalty area. That's a look from Thomas Shorty. Eyes wide, almost a sheepish little shrug of the shoulders. Brilliant movement from Schultz. There's another deflection by Malumbi. And probably is a foul as Schick just steps across Seamus Coleman, who to his credit gets a toe to the ball regardless. So that kind of half for the Czechs so far. Well, he's furiously scribbling in his notebook, Jaime Hallgrimsson, preparing a team talk for half-time. Cross goes Ryan Manning, and that's an unnecessary challenge from Vladimir Sofal. I don't know what he's trying to achieve there. Goes sliding in with Manning, upends him, and rather than it being a Czech throw-in, it's going to be an Irish free kick. I think Glenn Nyberg is making that point to him. A silly decision from Vladimir Sofal. With the switch to Hoffenheim from West Ham United, where he'd started to struggle for minutes. Now at the ripe old age of 33, Sofal. 180 appearances for the Hammers. It's in there by Coleman towards the back post. O'Shea with the header down. Skipped away by Schultz, was it? Cross comes Taylor. Puts it out of play for a Czech throw-in. To the final minute of the 45, plus whatever will be added on, and there'll be a bit added on as well. We've had a VAR review. Coleman almost caught onto the flight of it. Results in another Czechia throw-in. It's in front of the dugouts, taken by Krejci. Now Darida Polish. Into the channel for Chori, shoulder to shoulder with Darragh O'Shea. It's Schick, in fact, who's been penalised, and O'Shea went down rather easily. Patrick Schick felt he was shoulder to shoulder with Darragh O'Shea, and well, I can see what he's trying to say to the assistant referee on the far side. Seemed to be too much wrong with the challenge for me. Arms spread wide, barking at Glenn Nyberg. They're starting to feel a bit aggrieved, the Czechs here. 3 minutes of time added on at the end of this first half. And battling for the aerial ball. Ryan Manning. Well, Solskjaer's taken that from 5 or 6 yards further forward than when it went out of play. Shorty holding it up on the right-hand side. Manning gets a toe to it. Now Darragh O'Shea. Into essential position for Ogbene. Azaz, Parrott has runners around him. Halted up well, Troy Parrott. Here comes Coleman on the right-hand side. Ogbene in the centre-forward position at the moment. Coleman into midfield from Malumbi. O'Brien to Collins. Collins finds O'Shea, 6 yards to his left. O'Shea with the long ball down the right-hand side, looking for Seamus Coleman. And the touch gets away with him, from him, I should say. Like a good ball from Darragh O'Shea. A marauding run again from Seamus Coleman. He's lost a bit of pace, but no nous, no experience. Lacking anymore from the long-term Evertonian. Patrick Schick still grumbling away with Glenn Nyberg, just telling him to quiet down. He's running the risk of earning himself a booking purely through his interactions with the Swede. He's Darida. But rebound by Schick. Sulch deflected. It's come off Shorty, and that'll go behind for a goal kick. Pavel Sulch winding one up and looks to the heavens, almost as if to say, what could have been there? Clever ball from Darida, and cushioned down by Schick. Sulch run onto it. Might have been heading towards the top corner, we'll never know. It's quite an obstacle, Thomas Chori. One that Sulch couldn't quite evade. Kelleher's clearance. There's Sulch underneath it. Up and under from Darragh O'Shea. Ogbene jumping. Krejci wins it. Sulch. Poked forward by Darida. It's up to Coleman. A high ball down the right-hand side. There is Krejci in front of Ogbene. There'll be a free kick on halfway for the Czechs. Seamus Coleman's just been shoved down after the whistle blew. Darida into the centre circle for Hranats. Now Holish. Back to Hranats. About to hear the half-time whistle. Krejci long down the middle, but no time for anything else in this first half. Well, it's Ireland that have control of the game, but only slightly. The advantage coming. Troy Parrott given a glorious chance after a VAR review for a kick on Nathan Collins following a corner kick. It was a soft penalty, but one given on review by Glenn Nyberg, who looked at the pitch side monitor himself. Parrott with a lovely penalty, and then 4 minutes later an own goal. Another Ryan Manning delivery, this time towards the back post, caused problems for the Czech back line. And it bounced off of Vladimir so far, and then the shoulder of Matej Kovar. And across the line, according to the watch of Glenn Nyberg. It didn't take them long, though, to pull one back. Patrick Schick from the penalty spot. It was Ladislav Krejci, the Czech captain, tugged back by Ryan Manning, again from a corner kick. That one was pretty simple for Glenn Nyberg to give. It was a silly choice from Ryan Manning to make, and Patrick Schick made no mistake from the penalty spot. Still all to play for in the second half. It's been a wonderful half of football, and they expect more to come after the break. At half-time at the Fortuna Arena, it's Czechia 1, the Republic of Ireland 2. of Ladislav Krejci's shirt to give a very clear-cut penalty, where the first was maybe debatable, the second, well, no debates about it. So the Czechs playing with a sense that they've been treated relatively poorly by the referee, especially from that opening penalty. They are back underway in Prague, and an awkward first touch from Chalupek, which will go out of play for an Irish throw-in. Jake O'Brien will take it. Ireland's exponent of the long delivery. They're playing from right to left now, away from the official travelling contingent of Irish supporters. Away in that far corner, there's some unofficial contingents as well in the ground tonight, as Jake O'Brien launches that into the penalty area. Poor delivery in the end from the Everton man, and Ryan Manning will just about get his header back to Seamus Coleman. Misses his kick properly there. It's an awkward miss kick of the ball, which has handed possession back to the Czechs near halfway. They've got bodies around them, and Souček it is, who is the man left out tonight. He's replaced Darida in the middle of that Czech midfield. Chalupek replacing Tomáš Holeš on the right-hand side of the Czech back three. So off goes one Slavia Prague defender, on goes another. Here's Souček just outside the penalty area. Across to Chalupek. Sharp. Once again, if you are listening in, if you are supporting the Czechs tonight, I can only offer my apologies if I do mispronounce any players this evening. All in midfield with Finezaz. We'll run you through those lineups when the ball goes out of play next, but first Chidozie Ogbene will hold it up on the right-hand side for Ireland. That's inside to Jack Taylor of Ipswich Town. Back to O'Shea on the edge of the Irish box. Forward by Manning with his right foot. And Troy Parrott makes the most of the contact and will win the free kick. So for Ireland, it's Quivian Kelleher in goal, a back three of O'Shea, the captain Collins, and Jake O'Brien, Manning and Coleman, the two wing-backs. Taylor and Malumbi in midfield. Azaz and Ogbene offering support to the informed striker Troy Parrott, who now has 6 goals in his last 3 games for his national side. For the Czechs, Matej Kovar of PSV Eindhoven in goal. Back three now reads Chalupek, Hranac and Krejci, the captain. Sofal and Jurasek, the two wing-backs. Profot now joined by Souček in midfield. Schick and Silch of Lyon offering support to the ever so frustrating Tomáš Chorý. He's a big man, but he seems to really struggle to stay on his feet. Another throw on the far side. Ireland with another opportunity to launch it into the Czech penalty area. Riding away from momentum coming into this game, Ireland, and riding away from momentum from the opening 20 minutes. Here's O'Brien, another one that won't beat the first man, will it? Darren O'Shea rising, Azaz scampering across. He'll keep it in play ever so well, Finezaz. Back to O'Brien, long towards the back post. Collins felt he was tugged down, and the free kick goes against him. Glenn Nyberg quickly pointing in the opposite direction to the way Nathan Collins thought that should have gone. We'll have a look at the replay. Collins was just leaning on the new man, Chalupek. And despite the attentions of Vladimir Sofal, he did seem to pull briefly at Nathan Collins. And Nyberg gives the free kick. Czechs way. Surprise to surprise. Tomáš Chorý is down again. Was a foul from Darren O'Shea. That's the problem. Is that he goes down so easily, so often, that even when the fouls are genuine, you always question it a little bit. The big Slavia Prague centre forward. I mentioned he's been in brilliant goal-scoring form for his club. Thrown on the near side for the Irish, and it's Darren O'Shea who has the ball in his hands. Tossed down the touchline. Underneath it's Sofal. Always a bit of a combustible figure. A little bounce out of play for a Czech throw-in this time, and it will be the former West Ham man, Sofal, to take it. A lot of experience in this Czech team, lots of players over the age of 30. Sofal one of them, and he'll launch it towards the near post. It's up but not away by Manning. Back in there by Hranac. Now here's Parrott, whipped in by Sofal, and Kelleher had to stretch to tip it over the crossbar. I think the header was from Patrick Schick, it was. And it was an awkward one for the goalkeeper to contend with, but he's done well, Quivin Kelleher. Krejci and Schick both close to it. In fact, it's off the Czech captain in the end. They might have just been dipping under the crossbar. Fingertip stuff from Brentford's Quivin Kelleher. And a bright start to the second half, the Czechs. That's taken short. Sofal back in there. And that's a foul on Dara O'Shea. It was Khori. The ball was aimed at. Yeah, he's just run into the back of Dara O'Shea there. A quick wag of the finger. You can't expect the fouls. And then not concede them. There's Jack Taylor. Manning on the left-hand side. Bit of space, he's got support as well. Manning's cross is charged down by Sofal. And a corner for the Republic of Ireland. Game's been played at a real pace right from the word go. Both of these two sides haven't competed in the World Cup for a long, long time. Almost 25 years now for Ireland, 20 years going back to 2006 for the Czechs. As that is in the penalty area. Underneath it was Krejci. On the follow-up, Malumbi off the base of the post. From just outside the penalty area, West Brom's Jason Malumbi, the woodwork still wobbling. Would have been a fantastic goal, and there he is across on the far side, just getting in the way to make sure that the Czechs can't break. Well, this one looks like it might be won and lost on set pieces. The ball bounced to the edge of the penalty area. Malumbi ever so close to restoring that two-goal cushion. Here's Krejci walking into Irish territory. Chalupek, and he can't thread it through to Parrott. They're going to try and release Troy Parrott here, who's going to make it difficult for Hranac. Alexa popped that out of play for an Irish throw-in. The scorelines across the grounds. It finished Turkey 1, Romania 0. Denmark currently have a lead against North Macedonia. Mikkel Damsgaard with the opener there. They've absolutely dominated that game, the Danes, and well, the side that wins that game will face the side that wins this game for a place in the World Cup. Still goalless between Italy and Northern Ireland. It's Poland 0, Albania 1, 2 apiece between Slovakia and Kosovo. Ukraine 0, Sweden 2, and Wales have a 1-goal lead over Bosnia and Herzegovina. Dan James just after the break with the opener. Here's Sulch. Plovod. Out on the left-hand side, back to Krejci. Hranac. Chalupek. Now Khori. He's ushered over the touchline. A high five between Taylor and Ryan Manning there, appreciating each other's defensive work. Long way to go in this one. 10 minutes gone in this second half, no change to the scoreline. Schick, was he caught late there by Nathan Collins? The referee doesn't think so. Schick quickly getting back to his feet now as he realises the free kick's not going to go his way. That'll bounce off of Seamus Coleman, had a play for a corner kick. And Patrick Schick wandering towards the Irish penalty area. Probably should have been a foul on Patrick Schick. That one was missed by Glenn Nyberg. Whipped into the 6-yard box. Keller punched over his own crossbar. He misjudged the flight of that one. It was Vladimir Sofal with the delivery. He made his mind up early to come and try and deal with it, Keller. Looks like they're going to be making a change shortly, the Czechs. Looks like Kittil's going to be coming on shortly, but first another corner. Deep left-footed ball towards the back post where Patrick Schick waiting. Ball bouncing in the 18-yard box. There's Cordy. Good control by Parrott, not from Ogbene, who's given it away on the near side. Now Souček. Provod. Now Krejci on the edge of the centre circle. Sofal. Misjudged that pass beyond Ryan Manning. Dara O'Shea will take the resulting throw-in. And another throw-in, this time off Vladimir Sofal. O'Shea down the touchline. Sofal with the header away. There's Malumbi in midfield. Collins knocked off balance. And Thomas Akori with a wry smile and a shake of the head. To Keller towards that right hand side, hurriedly cleared down the touchline by Coleman. Ogbene can't keep it in play. We seem to have lost a little bit of shape, Ireland, in the opening 15 minutes or so of this second half. Czechia with all the motivation and the impetus at the moment. It's Krejci, cross from deep, too high for Sofal and Corey, which takes some doing. I think 6'6" centre half. They're trying to centre forward, I should say. They're trying to use him as that target man. Haven't really got him into the game yet. There's Dara O'Shea. Souček in the way of that one. Corey just bumped into Ryan Manning, no foul. Throw in for the Czechs on the near side down this right flank. Sofal winding himself up for a long one into the penalty area. That's into what a congested near post area, up in the air by Corey. Juggling Parrott. He's got himself in a bit of a tangle on the edge of the box. Collins tries to sweep it away. Might pop through to Manning. Krejci keeps it moving. Now Sofal again with the opportunity to lift one into the box. Collins with a powerful header away. Sofal again. Now Provod. Kranac can get it in. Can't beat the first man on the edge of the box. That's Taylor, who will also clear it. Krejci. Jurasek swings it in there, looking for Cordy again. Manning scampering across to the near side, picked up by Provod. Back into midfield for Kranac. The aerial assault will continue, this time towards the back post. Jake O'Brien made contact. That goes behind, another corner kick. Bit of belief around the Fortuna Arena. It's clever from Jake O'Brien initially. He got hands on Patrick Schick. He wasn't close enough to him initially, and then could just flick it behind for this corner kick. It's going to be taken by Jurasek from the far side. Left-footed ball Swinging away from the goalkeeper, there's Krejci. That's onto the roof of the net. From a decent position, couldn't really generate the trajectory or the power that would have troubled Quivin Keller. Now gone. Ireland still with that narrow one-goal lead in Prague this evening, as Keller's long ball will find Ogbene, but they're headed down. Won't find a teammate. It's Collins sprinting back towards his own penalty area and nods it back to Keller, who quickly bowls it into O'Brien. Now Coleman tries to pump it into midfield. Won't find Azaz. Here's Souček. Krejci. Kranach. Back to Krejci to his left. Jurasek. Krejci again. Controlling the ball at the moment, the Czechs. Souček. Krejci. Souček again. Jurasek. Souček. Sulc towards Chiori. And Darragh O'Shea again in the way. Grimson remains in his seat in this technical area. Looks like there's some activity around him. Ireland may well be bringing on a substitute very shortly. Look towards Ogbene. It's going to bounce over Krejci's head. Parrott tries to juggle. 40. Got away from him. There's Parrott. It won't run through to Finn Azaz. So foul. Towards the edge of the box, taken down by Darragh O'Shea. Tried to get away. He was being tugged there by Sulc. Patrick Schick initially, and then Sulc comes across with a little bit of a clumsy challenge on the Ipswich Town man. Kelleher long. Benny underneath it, the chest back will find Troy Parrott. That's laid off to Malumbi. Now Taylor turns out of pressure, finds Manning. Ogbene operating on this left-hand side for the time being. Azaz trying to chip it back to Ogbene, who had his path blocked off by the substitute Chalopek. So Ireland with the set piece. Looks like Ryan Manning's going to be the man to deliver this. We'll see a couple of changes first. That was a straightforward decision for Glenn Nyberg. Benny had the beating of Chalopek and went over the outstretched leg. Miroslav Krejci just making his colleague's case to the referee. A penny for Miroslav Krejci's thoughts. Not sure he's expecting to be in this position. Well, back 12 months ago, the 74-year-old. An enviable task, trying to guide his side through this World Cup qualification playoff. Here's Manning, high ball towards the back post, not a bad effort. Krejci with the clearance, out towards the right-hand side. Here's Taylor. Spins it onto his left foot, back into the penalty area. There's Krejci again. Sulc just prodded back into the danger area. Ogbene with a cutback. He's fed by Azaz, who'll watch that bounce over the touchline. Kranach with the clearance. The fact that Ireland made it through to this stage is quite a miracle, really, considering that Portugal tops the group. It was widely expected that Hungary would finish in the second place position. Such has been their surge to the upper echelons of European football recently. Here's O'Brien with a long throw-in. The clearance only as far as Manning. O'Brien again on the left-hand side. Sorts his feet out, drills one towards the edge of the box. Souček is there for the Czechs. Manning. jumped in front of Provod, and Glenn Nybo's going to blow the whistle because that seems to be like a head injury for Ryan Manning. Put himself in the line of fire. It's not a foul. Glenn Nyberg making that clear to Vladimir Sofal. There's some very frustrated looking Czechs surrounding the referee. There's not much he can do there. He flung himself in front of a bouncing ball. He's got a touch on it as well and hurt himself as he goes to ground. It's shoulder to shoulder in the end. I think it's just the tumble, the collision. I can't actually see any contact with the head, to be honest, from Ryan Manning, but Glenn Nyberg certainly has. The Irish medical team out to check on Ryan Manning. Oh, about to make a change at Ireland. Alan Brown of Middlesbrough is going to be coming on imminently for his 38th cap. Looks like he's going to be a Premier League player next season, all going well for Middlesbrough this year. Sitting second in the Championship behind Coventry City. And Robbie Brady's going to come on as well, the Preston North End winger. Put himself about a bit, Robbie Brady. Hasn't been involved in the squad since June of last year. Just see who's going to come off to accommodate both Brady and Brown. Probably the right move from Jaime Halgrimsson. His side have been second best throughout the majority of this second half. Need something fresh, some fresh ideas, some fresh legs. There will be Manning to depart. And Ipswich's Jack Taylor. So comes Alan Brown. And for Middlesbrough. Ryan Manning saluted by those travelling Irish supporters. On comes Robbie Brady as well. .34 years old now, Robbie Brady. This is his 73rd appearance for his national side. Looks like he's going to slot into that wing-back role. Kelleher long. O'Shea with the flick on. Near halfway. Here's Parrott. He's held off the challenges really well here, Troy Parrott, and found himself a pocket of space. 30 yards from goal. Gets Coleman involved. Brown wants it in midfield. He'll get it eventually, but under a bit of pressure. Back to Coleman on the right-hand side, is it? It's Malumbi tracking back infield. All the way back to Collins, excuse me. Collins to the left-hand side for Brady. Well, that's back to O'Shea. Quivine Kelleher. Kelleher again. Left-footed straight through the middle. Parrott jumping with Krejci. He beats him to it. It's by Malumbi. Kelleher in the right-back position. Looks to lift it over Krejci. Parrott was trying to steal in behind. He wins the head of the Wolves defender. Collins into midfield. And now Ireland setting off in the right direction with Finn Azaz. Tried to poke it through to Troy Parrott. He was being played on side by Klanach on the far side. Oh, it's just a bit too firm for Troy Parrott. So Czech. Well, he's changed the game for the Czechs, providing that link between the defence and midfield. They'll be wary of his threat from set pieces as well, Ireland. Kolopek. Klanach. Across to Krejci out on the left-hand side. Another early ball into the penalty area. Brown tussling with Sulch. Breaks free for Finn Azaz. Parrott's layoff. He was caught late there. Glenn Nyberg right on top of the incident, but doesn't see fit to blow the whistle. So foul. Kalopek, Azaz. Felt he was fouled. The referee disagrees. Ball on the edge of the penalty area. Little ricochet as Shanat stood onto it. Ogbene trying to make it awkward for Krejci. So foul. Loops it up into the penalty area. There's Collins. Nodded down by Kalopek. Provod, left-footed ball. Corley, no foul on Nathan Collins, according to Glenn Nyberg. So foul with the back heel, keeps it in play. There's Brady, and now Darragh O'Shea can clear the danger. It's held up by Parrott on the near side. He's ending the game flow a little bit more now, Glenn Nyberg. Parrott didn't get the free kick he went looking for. Provod, edge of the box. Souček can hit them from this kind of range. Elects not to. Instead, it's across to Krejci. Let it run across him. Jurasek. Kalopek. Right hand side now is Provod. Klanats. And that will be a free kick for Ireland. A little shove from, was it Corley there? It might be, because he's the man gone walking away with a shake of the head. And now Nathan Collins is in the ear of the referee. I think he's trying to suggest that should be a, well, it probably should be a yellow card for Thomas Corley. But it's all one-way traffic now towards the Irish goal. Salt. Physical stuff from Molumby. So foul. Into Hranats. Krejci. Kalopek tries to turn it down the right-hand side. Darragh O'Shea gets his body in the way of Provod. He wants a free kick for a handball to settle through a corner. Just got his body across Provod, did Darragh O'Shea. Well, that's the end of the evening for Thomas Corley. He struggles to stay on his feet. Let's see if he can stay on his seat in the dugout. He's going to be replaced by Slavia Prague's Mojmír Chytil, the 26-year-old attacker. A bit of a different profile. It was a free kick for Ireland rather than a corner kick. Darragh O'Shea did get the free kick he was looking for. But once again, they can't keep it, the Irish. And Krejci's ball is behind Jurasek and Coleman. Oh, Jurasek caught him in the back of the head with a trailing leg. Here's Ogbene on the right-hand side, trying to get past Krejci. Was there a little shove in the back? The referee doesn't think so. Will be a corner kick. Interesting to see that contact between Seamus Coleman, who just stepped across Jurasek. He left the leg dangling, and it's dragged across the back of Seamus Coleman, and then in the back of his head. Only he will know whether he intended it. I'm not sure he knew much about it, if I'm honest. Maybe a sore one for the Evertonian. Robbie Brady across to take the set piece. The assistant referee is making it clear that he will ensure he takes this in a timely fashion. Brady left-footed from that right-hand side, a high swinging ball towards the back post. There is O'Shea, and now O'Brien trying to pick up the second one. Nodded towards the edge of the box, looped away by Provod. Molumby's ball forward, picked off by Provod, and now a chance to break for Czechia. Chytil into the penalty area. Cries of handball from Seamus Coleman. Offside is the decision from Glenn Nyberg. Stulch, yep. It was just beyond the last man. It seemed to strike him on the arm as well, so if it wasn't the offside, probably would have been a handball. 15 minutes left of the 90 minutes. And clinging on to this lead. And it's almost certain now that they will be facing Denmark, one of these two sides, next week. Goldstrom And Mikkel Damsgaard, and 2 from Gustav Isaacson. Been followed up by Christian Norgard. It's 4-0 now to the Danes against North Macedonia at the Parken in Copenhagen, in front of almost 40,000. Northern Ireland held out for a while, but Sandro Tonali has opened the scoring for Italy, who lead by a goal to 0 in Bergamo. It's all square between Poland and Albania, 1 apiece. Well, in fact, it's just changed that scoreline. Robert Lewandowski opened the reply to Arber Hoxha's opener on the hour mark, Lewandowski. And it's Piotr Zielinski who's scored the goal that's given Poland the lead. Slovakia 2, Kosovo 4. Currently, and Sweden, Victor Gyökeres hat-trick. Looks like Sweden will be coming through that. Still, Wales lead Bosnia-Herzegovina by a goal to 0. That Dan James goal just after half-time from outside the penalty area. If you've got an opportunity to have a look at it, do so. It's a very good goal from the Leeds United attacker. Here in Prague still, Czechia 1, Ireland 2. And Quivy and Keller won't have to keep it in play. He'll have a goal kick. Patrick Schick trying to chase after it. Collins, clearance charged down by Schick again. They're giving it everything they've got, the Czechs. So far, don't have the rewards for their work rate. It's away by Keller. Parrott beaten to it by Souček. Forward by Brown. Ogbene with a flick on. Away by Hlanach. Brown, that's a foul in midfield. So Provod getting back to his feet. And Nyberg just checking on him, preventing the Czechs from taking the free kick quickly. Pretty clear, right in front of Glenn Nyberg from Alan Brown. Chalupek, Hlanach, Krejci. Work down the left-hand side, here's Sulc. To get that forward, Souček. Now Ogbene tries to break away down the right-hand side. He's got Azaz and Parrott up with him. Ogbene hugging the touchline. Runs into Krejci. Souček with a toe to it to concede the throw-in. Haven't shown much going forward, Ireland. They are winning the key duels in important areas, the Czechs, but yet to really test Quivy and Kelleher. It's a very organised defence they're up against, and a determined one. A goal here could win it for the Irish. Jake O'Brien with the long throw. O'Shea flicks it on. Oh, brilliant save from Matej Kovar. Denies Troy Parrott. O'Shea rose well to flick it on, and there was Parrott in front of Chidozie Ogbene. And it's fingertip stuff from Matej Kovar. His momentum carrying him to his right. He adjusts in the nick of time to push it round the post. Almost sudden death stuff here as we approach the final 10 minutes of the 90. Robbie Brady, 2 arms in the air, standing over the corner kick. Left-footed ball, swung high towards the back post. Kittil up, but it's not away. It's another corner, this time from the near side. Pavel Sulc can prevent it from going over the byline. Italy have doubled their lead against Northern Ireland. The Fiorentina striker Moise Keane, set up by Sandro Tonali. Looks like Northern Ireland will be falling at the first hurdle in their World Cup playoff attempts Here's Azaz's ball towards the near post. Nathan Collins flung a heel at it. Out as far as Malumbi, hooks it back into the middle of the area. Troy Parrott tried to take it down. Just couldn't quite stretch enough. And it's Kovar that comes away with it. Suspicion of offside. Not sure Malumbi knew much about it really as he hooked it back into the danger area. Here's Kalopek. So foul. Good defending by Robbie Brady. And gets a little kick from Vladimir Sofal on the way out of play. And they're fired up, the Irish. About to make another change as well, it seems. Jaime Hallgrimsson. In fact, it's going to be a Czech change. David Jurasek is going to be replaced at, what was it, Parrott? Along comes Slavia Prague's Mikhail Sadilek. It is Jurasek to go off. So a defender withdrawn, a midfielder on for the last 8 minutes or so. They've done everything right in this second half, the Czechs, apart from score the goal. It takes a second though, doesn't it? There's another change as well, imminent. As Adam Karabec of Lyon, the 22-year-old centre forward, is going to come on. To add to the attacking options from Miroslav Kobek's side, it's Vladimir Sofal that makes way. So another defender departs. Both wing-backs off now. Pumped towards Ogbene. Parrott was close to it. Krejci wins the header. And that's an awkward clearance out on that left-hand side for a slightly reshuffled defence. Sadilek has dropped into the left-back position, it seems. Here's O'Brien walking forward. It's just inside the Czech half of the pitch, this throw-in. Tossed towards the corner flag where Ogbene was. Malumbi trying to break it up. Kalopek. Kalopek knew that the challenge was coming from Robbie Brady. Wasn't the best first touch, to be honest, from the Lyon forward. It's Krejci. Sulch. Vanach. Kalopek. Whipped in there by Karabec. Away by Azaz. To Kalopek. Now Karabek. Into Tranach. Krejci. Shitil. Held off by Collins. Sulch. That's away by Brown. Now Ogbene tries to juggle. Socek leans on him. And Ogbene rattled that into Krejci's face. Just checks on him as the Czechs continue. This time on the right-hand side. With Karabek. Dominating possession. 60%, 40% over the course of the 84 minutes so far. It's 65-35 in the second half. But here's the important metric for the Czechs. Just one shot on target in the entirety of the 40 minutes played so far in this second period. That might change here though. They've got a set piece. A corner kick for Czechia from the right-hand side. We said it might be a game won or lost on set pieces, and it's Mikhail Sadilek of Slavia Prague to deliver. In comes the in-swinger towards the near post. Oh, there's the equalizer! And would you believe it, it's Ladislav Krejci A wicked ball, whipped into the near post and thumped home by the captain. The Fortuna Arena explodes. They've been a hard nut to crack. But finally, the Irish defence breaks under pressure. Brilliant from Krejci. Desire to get on the end of it. Coleman never got off the ground. Game on. All the headlines pre-match were about stripping Thomas Souček of the captaincy, handing it to Krejci here, skippering the side for the first time. He was fouled for the penalty that reduced the deficit in the first half. And it's Krejci of Wolverhampton Wanderers that levels things up from a corner. All the 4 goals coming from set pieces. That one, in fact, wasn't actually a corner. It was just a free kick next to the corner. Brown across, last touch. Came off of Parrott. The set piece for Ireland in front of the dugouts. Finazaz has been left to take it. Tommy Brady wandering away. Azaz's ball towards the far side of the penalty area. O'Shea will pick up the second ball, look to recycle it. Lifted back in there, all the way across. There is Azaz. Chest sit down on the left edge of the penalty area. Parrott close to him. Brady. Brown. Swung back in there by O'Shea. And Finazaz concedes the foul. Well, Lukáš Parrott goes down. It's a soft free kick to concede, but a free kick nonetheless. Well, 90 seconds of normal time remaining. There is still time for either of these two sides to go on and win it. It's the Czechs with all the momentum. And a reminder, if they cannot be separated, we will go to 2 15-minute periods of extra time. And there is the spectre of penalties potentially hanging over this tie. Sure, neither of these two sides want that, especially if they have to go and play another game in 5 days' time against what's looking increasingly likely to be Denmark. They're in the 90th minute in Copenhagen and still leading by 4 goals to 0, the Danes. Ogbene. Coleman. O'Brien. Coleman. Ogbene. That's laid off to Coleman again. Malumbi. Ogbene. It's Malumbi out on the right-hand side. About to find out how much added time there is. Back by O'Brien to Quiveen Keller. There's been a late equaliser in Cardiff. As Daniel James's 51 first minute goal has been cancelled out by Edin Dzeko. He's levelled things up for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Here though in Prague, we enter 4 minutes of added time. Brady, touch lets him down. We'll try and win it back off balance. Karabet. Brown with a slide challenge. Pokes it free. They've won it back, Ireland, on the edge of the penalty area, and that will be a yellow card. Malumbi is down. Oh, we're set up for a grandstand finish here. It was... I think he might have got a toe to the ball there, Ranats, but not enough to satisfy Glenn Nyberg. Full-time whistle starting to sound. Yes, it is Denmark who will be the opponents of whoever goes on to win this tie. Full-time in Copenhagen. It's finished Denmark 4, North Macedonia 0. Karabek on the right-hand side for Czechia. Parrott can't find Robbie Brady. There's O'Shea. Getting there in front of Schick. Back to Kelleher from the byline. Scoops it away with his left foot. Karabek. Just can't get it forward, Ireland. Can't make it stick. Kittil is moving a little bit awkwardly. Jaime Halgrimsson deep in conversation with his assistant John O'Shea on the Irish bench. Got a big task on their hands to gee up this Irish team, who have given everything they've got in this second half to keep Czechia at bay. Here's O'Brien. Coleman. You'd have Czechia now down on favourites to go and win it. It's based on this second half performance. The one thing in Ireland's favour is they've only made 2 substitutions. That means they'll have 4 to play with in extra time. Each side gets an extra substitute. That's an awkward header from Seamus Coleman. He was trying to cushion it down the line for a Benny to chase. The Czechs with a throw in deep inside their own half of the pitch. Launched away by Krejci. O'Shea beaten to it. Collins with the header. Over Provod. Malumbi for Coleman. The early ball into the channel for Finn Azaz. That's away by Krejci. Czechia want a foul. They're going to get one. We're into the final minute of added time. It was Jake O'Brien penalised for a shove on Pavel Sulc. This might well be the last chance of normal time. O'Brien retreating to take up his defensive position. It's going to be Mikhail Sadilek from the left-hand side. It will be the last chance of the 90 minutes. Almost everyone up now for the Czechs. Sadilek towards the far side of the penalty area. Souček gets there. Kittil tries to get it, his head on it. Souček again. Tries to turn. Souček, but it's in the way! Kelleher holds on to it. It was Krejci again. The ball just emerged through bodies. He put it towards goal. A bit more commitment on the effort, and Czechia would have won it late on. Well, the referee's blown the whistle. We will go to extra time in what has been an engrossing contest in Prague. Ireland owned the first half, Czechia owning the second, and their captain Ladislav Krejci with an 86th minute equaliser to force it to extra time. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very, very shortly for extra time. Full time after 90 minutes. It's finished. Czechia 2, Ireland 2. said very shortly. And we are back for the second period of extra time. Both sets of players out there. Ireland will be playing from right to left. The Czechs are from left to right. 15 minutes left to separate them, to prevent this going to the lottery of a penalty shootout. It's Czechia 2, Republic of Ireland 2. Jaime Hallgrímsson looking the most animated I've seen him all night, in conversation with John O'Shea to his right. Of the two sides, it's Czechia that have committed more bodies going forward, and that's given a bit of encouragement for the Republic of Ireland. There is space in behind. That's maybe explains the introduction of Adamida. It's a true football battle. 15 more minutes to go. Will someone stand up and be counted? Collins with the nod down. Here's Robbie Brady. Away down the left-hand side, looking for Parrott. Ranach first to it. Ireland with the throw-in. The Fortuna Arena bouncing. It's been a frustrated place to be at times tonight, but there's belief in these stands. There's also nervous energy. Lofted forward, Ida jumping with Krejci. He's been virtually flawless this evening. A long one towards Schitil. There is O'Shea, and then nodded back by Collins to his club colleague Caoimhín Kelleher. Kelleher taking his time in possession here. Eventually he'll go the aerial route up towards Adamida. Krejci. Well, he was backing into him there, Adamida. And the free kick goes Krejci's way. Wasting no time with it. Kalupek. Schick. Touch let him down. Here's O'Shea. It's in front of Patrick Schick. Wants the foul. Concedes the throw. Jaime Hallgrímsson out in his technical area now. Kovalon into the centre circle. Headed down by Malumbi. He was knocked off balance there by Thomas Souček in the process, so Ireland have a free kick. Souček vocalising his frustrations. And he had eyes for the ball, but clatter into Malumbi as he tried to get up for the header. Robbie Brady will take the free kick for Ireland. Right on the centre spot here. It's lofted towards a group of white shirts on the right-hand side of the penalty area. O'Brien tried to rise. Krejci gets it away. Here's Jimmy Dunn, one of the extra time substitutes. Brady again. Out towards that right-hand side. And Ireland felt that came off an arm. They've got the ball again, though, through Nathan Collins on the edge of the centre circle. Across it to O'Shea. Look out to that right flank for Dunn. Drops to O'Brien on the edge of the box. Bounces away from Troy Parrott. Chalupek. Now Karabec. Back to Chalupek. Into midfield. Given straight to Malumbi. Trying to make ground down the left-hand side. He's done well, the West Brom man. Jason Malumbi, left-hand side. Pulls it back to Robbie Brady. Gets it out of his feet. Left-footed ball. Swung in towards the near post. That's away by Chalupek. into the middle by O'Shea. Renewed vigour from the Irish. Collins. Jimmy Dunn in the middle of the Czech half of the pitch. Edel in a central position, looking for space. Azaz, Malumbi. Collins. O'Brien. Poked wide. High ball. It'll go all the way through to Robbie Brady on the left-hand side now. Kadovec comes to meet him. Brady, heavy touch. There's no foul there. O'Shea tries to get in front of the Schitil. He's done well, Darragh O'Shea. And turned back to his goalkeeper. It's Jason Malumbi. Collins. Malumbi at the base of midfield. O'Brien. Dunn. Very backwards to O'Brien. Now Malumbi. O'Shea forward. Finds Adamida. Tried to cushion it down. No one running onto the pass though. That's back to Kovar. Forward. Turns it forward. Clement. Strong from Collins. Just helps him over the byline. Azaz. There's space in the middle now for Ireland. Here comes Finn Azaz. It's Brown. Now Dunn on the right-hand side. Azaz. Jimmy Dunn. Alan Brown. Finn Azaz. Towards Parrott in the penalty area. Krejci stooping low to clear it. Sadilek. Away from Dunn. Now O'Brien. Collins. Well, Dunn plays in the heart of the defence for QPR. He's out there as a right back at the moment, almost a right winger. O'Brien. Malumbi. Dunn held off Sadilek, the referee. Well, he went to ground, Sadilek, almost cynically. And Jimmy Dunn can't quite believe the referee's going to stop things to check on him. And there was a little bit of a touch of the ear. And Mikhail Sadilek has gone down as if he's been caught with a right hook by the big Irish centre-half. Clock ticking. Penalties getting ever closer. Czech fans still in full voice. Here's Collins. Now O'Brien towards the edge of the box. Adamida, heavy touch, takes it out wide. And Sadilek will get his body across to make sure that Ida can't haul it back under his control. Sami Smodic is being prepared by Jaime Hallgrimsson. That's away by Collins again. Krejci will be asked to wait so Ireland can get this change on. Off goes Jason Malumbi. And on will come Sami Smodic, playing his football for Derby County on loan from Ipswich Town. He's got an eye for goal and an knack scoring important ones. Become much more important he can get on the score sheet tonight in the closing 5 minutes. Collins with the header near halfway. It's a tired looking clearance from Krejci, which will find touch, and Ireland have the throw in. Into Collins. O'Shea. Down the left for Brady. Finds Parrott. Good hold-up play from the centre forward. Laid back to Collins. Between the lines is Azaz. Allowed to turn. Azaz spins inside onto his left foot. Dunn has space on the right-hand side. Azaz turns back in field though. Finds Nathan Collins. To his right for O'Brien. Dunn. First time left-footed ball towards the edge of the box. Not the best cross, but it might drop here to Brown. Try to slip it through to Ida. Krejci's in the way on the edge of the Czech penalty area. Sadilek up towards Shitil. Awkward touch. Smodic with his first ball. Can't find Azaz. There's Provod. Now Kalopek. Won't find Clement. Ball over the top looking for Ida. That's simple enough for Krejci. Sami Smodic flung himself at it and he's gone down in a heap in the penalty area, and that looks pretty gruesome coming together. Seemed to be a blow to the head for the substitute, and I think he may have lost consciousness here, so there's real concern in the Irish medical team, who quickly ran onto the pitch. The fourth official pointed it out to Glenn Nyberg. We'll have a look at the challenge there. Smodic challenge with Kalopek. The arm was held up by Kalopek. In the end, I think Smodic may well be all right. There's an elbow into the rib cage. That's the problem. Kalopek with his elbow out, and that may well have caused some real damage to Sami Smodic. An apology offered by the Czech defender. Looks like they're going to have to change, take Sami Smodic off and replace him with somebody else, because that damage looks to be significant. Jaime Hallgrimsson's not happy. And the ambulance team are heading onto the pitch to assist with the treatment of Sami Smodic. Officially we have 2 minutes of time remaining of this second period of extra time, but we'll have a fair bit of added time added on. The Irish fans are in fine voice, hoping that Sami Smodic can hear them, hoping their team can hear them. Arm in arm, the boys in green in the stands. Smodic remains down. The respite for both sets of players. They'll G themselves up for one final assault. Who knows which way this one is going? Same can be said in Cardiff, as still nothing to separate Wales and Bosnia and Herzegovina. It's a big moment as well here in Prague, as Harvey Vale, another QPR man, is about to come on, the former England under-21 captain, who switches allegiances in the build-up to this game. He's going to be introduced to this cauldron of pressure in the Fortuna Arena. Green shirts scattered around the ground. And they're still quite concerned about Sami Smodic here. He's going to go off on a stretcher, and we do wish him the best, because it did seem to be quite nuggly coming together with Jalopek. I'm sure we'll find out in the aftermath of the game just what happened, as we've moved beyond the 120 minutes now. Still waiting to see how much time will be added on for this injury to Sami Smodic. Being very gentle with him. They've got the neck brace around him as well. It's never nice to see that. And the substitute, Sami Smodic, who came on less than 5 minutes ago, is going to be replaced by Harvey Vale of QPR. All eyes now on the fourth official. We're into borrowed time, and we'll be playing a minimum of 4 minutes added. Probably from this point, a minute into added time already. Behind there, Howard Crimson, that icy stare, gazing onto the pitch. They've got a free kick here for the challenge on Smodic. Here's Azaz towards the back post. Collins wins the header. Lashed away by Krejci. Bounces over the touchline on the far side. Chased out of play by Alan Brown. They're into extra time in Cardiff as well. One of the two of British nations in action this evening. Already out, Wales trying to keep home nation hopes alive, and Ireland, we won't like to be counted amongst those, but they are close neighbours, cousins to the likes of Scotland, England and Wales. Scotland will be at the World Cup, make no mistake about that. They qualified already. Ireland battling to increase that Celtic representation in the United States, Mexico and Canada. Will be Robbie Brady from the corner kick. Ida lurking over the shoulder of Matej Kovar. As Irish supporters set to explode if this goes in. They're shoving in the 18-yard box, and Nathan Collins has been shoved to ground. Glenn Nyberg is watching on with real interest here. It's Hanac who has to be careful. Brady's ball, left-footed, high towards the back post. Two converging underneath it. It's off a Czech head. Kitchell with the clearance. Throw in for Ireland on the left-hand side. Jake O'Brien coming across to take it. Three minutes of the four played. Wonder how strict Glenn Nyberg will stick to that added time. O'Brien heaved in towards the near post. Azaz nods it back into the danger area. Hooked away. Will drop here to Brown. Misses his first touch. No foul, despite the outstretched arm. Well, there will be a foul there. Sadilek down, not for the first time holding his face, and there didn't seem to be too much contact. Well, he's just holding his chin. Well, Brown with a little look over his shoulder. And that one is a bit more contact, so I apologise to Mikhail Sadilek. He knew what he was doing there, Alan Brown. Well, surely this is the last attack. The last attempts to win in extra time. The clock ticks to 4 minutes. Forward by Kovar to the edge of the box. Away by O'Shea. Kalopek. On the outside. Looking for Karabesh. O'Shea across to the near side with the header. They'll go on beyond the 4 minutes of Provod. Change of angle. Switches it out to Krejci. Lumped into the penalty area. O'Shea is underneath it for Ireland. On the volley, Provod. And then from range again. Oh, it's burst clear. And Troy Parrott maybe. Late on for Ireland. Charging into the Czech half of the pitch. Across goes Sadilek. It's off the defender for an Irish throw-in out on the right-hand side. Will they have time? Into Collins. Across to O'Shea. Glenn Nyberg blows the whistle. Nothing to separate them after 90. Nothing to separate them after an additional 30. All eyes now on Matej Kovar and Quivin Kelleher, because this one is heading to penalties. Don't go anywhere. We'll have every penalty kick right here. Full time after extra time. It's Czechia 2, Republic of Ireland 2. Well, welcome back. Glenn Nyberg calling the two captains, Nathan Collins and Ladislav Krejci, to him. They will pick which goal mouth from which to take the penalties. Nathan Collins is seeing the funny side of all of this. But the headline is the whistles have ceased, the tactical boards folded away, and 120 minutes of grueling, lung-bursting attrition are over. And now the Fortuna Arena slips into a tense but noisy atmosphere. It's no longer a game of systems, of 3-4-2-1s, of overlapping wing-backs. It's a game of nerves, 12 yards, one-on-one. A test that will decide which of these nations moves one step closer to the World Cup in the United States, Canada and Mexico, and which is left to pick through the wreckage of another 4-year cycle. For Czechia, they lean on the history that's almost supernatural. They've never lost a major shootout. A perfect record that stretches back to the days of Czechoslovakia. They are the sons of Panenka, the keepers of the most ice-cold legacy in European football. But standing in their way is a man who has made the penalty spot his own personal laboratory. Quivin Kelleher has spent the last 2 years for club and country, proving that he is the ultimate waiter. A goalkeeper who dares the world's best strikers to blink first. The green wall of Irish fans will have to watch on from a distance. Take a breath wherever you're listening. The talking is done. The road to the 2026 World Cup has come down to the loneliest walk in sports. And it will be Ireland to get us started. And their main man, Troy Parrott, perfect from the spot. 100 minutes ago. He put it to Kovar's right last time. Will he go the same direction? Troy Parrott to get this shootout started, sits the goalkeeper down. It's straight down the middle. Ireland open the scoring in the shootout. A puncher for the air in relief. More than celebration from the AZ Alkmaar striker. He joins his teammates on the halfway line, arm in arm. Well, here comes the man of the moment for the Czech Republic, for Czechia. Their captain this evening, captain for the first time, Ladislav Krejci versus Kevin Kelleher. Krejci staring down Kelleher. Krejci, it's over. Kelleher almost got a hand to it, the Brentford goalkeeper, but it's into the back of the net. He'll be disappointed, Kevin Kelleher, that he couldn't keep it out. He's got a big paw on it. And Krejci's heart was in his mouth for a second there. And now Adam Eder. He is so clinical from this sort of range, from this position, from the spot. Eder approaches the ball. Oh, tucks it into the bottom corner. Matej Kovar went the right way, but it was never going to get on it as Eder tucks it into the side netting. Fingertips to it from the Czech keeper. And now Tomáš Souček. So much written about him prior to the game. The former captain, the man dropped for Vladimir Darida. These two will know so much about each other from their time in the Premier League. West Ham's Souček versus Brentford's Kevin Kelleher. A mini London derby playing out in Prague. Souček tucks it past Kelleher, sent him the wrong way. A calm penalty from Tomáš Souček. Levels it up again. It's 2 apiece after 2 penalties each. Side foots it beyond Kelleher. Went to the goalkeeper's left. And here comes Robbie Brady. On as a second half substitute. That seems like a week ago. One of the most experienced players in their side, Robbie Brady. Goalkeeper's making him wait as well. Leaning up against his post, Matej Kovar. Preston North End's Robbie Brady. With Kovar dancing on his line. Brady. Scores the penalty. Kovar away to his right. Brady tucks it into the bottom left corner. And a little word from Robbie Brady for the mind games played by Matej Kovar. And now the pressure on Moimir Chytil. Handed the ball by Glenn Nyberg. Chytil versus Kelleher, and Kelleher saves! A poor penalty from Chytil. Czechia blink first. Irish roars fill the Fortuna. It's not the cleanest of contacts from the Czech forward. And Kelleher has made the most of it, gets down low to his right and denies Chytil from the spot. Here's Finazaz for Ireland to give them daylight in the shootout. Azaz, a step to his left, a little shuffle, and that's been saved by Kovar. PSV's Maciej Kovar, not known for his penalty saving, but he's pulled one out of the bag at the most important moment. Gets the right direction, and it's not close enough to the post from Finazaz, who puts his hands on his head. A consoling word from his captain Nathan Collins. He joins the ranks of Irish players on the halfway line. Here's a man you'd put your house on, Patrick Schick. Scored the penalty to get Czechia in the game, and he does really well. Calm stuff from Patrick Schick. A little stutter in the run-up. Waited for Kelleher to move before rolling it into the bottom corner. We're all square again, 3 apiece after 4 penalties each. Heading towards sudden death now. Spare a thought for Alan Brown. The Queen's Park Rangers midfielder cannot miss. It won't be terminal, but it'll be close to it. It's Brown versus Kovar. Brown is safe. Maciej Kovar gets down and saves it. Czechia are 1 kick away from continuing their World Cup dream. A casual penalty from Alan Brown, and it was read by the goalkeeper. Jan Clement versus Kelleher, and batters it past Quivin Kelleher. The tension that's hung over the Fortuna Arena is finally broken. It's replaced by a primal